Hey students, welcome to the 7th lesson in the home piano course. We're going to be using this book, links in the description, and specifically what we're talking about today is this section here with the middle C position. So I'm going to show you what the middle C position is. Talk about crescendos and diminuendos, very important, fermatas, eighth notes, and basically all of these pieces and everything is going to tie in to this middle C position. We're going to be finishing it out on page 80 with introducing dotted quarter notes. Okay, we're taking a look at page 72, thumbs on C, and you may guess the whole point of this is to put your thumbs on C. Specifically for this, we're going to be putting our thumbs on middle C and then laying the rest of our fingers across. Now, a lot of students I have complained about sharing C with both of the thumbs. So what you, actually I recommend you just get used to it, but what I do recommend sometimes is if, say you're really fighting for that spot, it's really confusing you, drop out one of the thumbs and use the left hand or the right hand whenever needed in the music rather than kind of fighting over the same space. But I recommend getting used to that. So here is our first piece. You can play those on your own. That's really just playing up the 5 fingers, basically from C back down. Again, they give you a little diagram there. Here's our first piece, thumbs on C. Looking through this piece for the first time, I know that we're starting out left hand, finishing it out with the right hand. We got a repeat there. You have a mezzo forte on both lines. 4/4, meaning there's 4 beats in each measure. And then you got treble clef, bass clef. So you always want to go down that list of things. So let me play this for you so you can follow along and see how this is going to work. So you're going to get your hands in position like I showed you before. And you're going to start out with the left hand. Again, going up the 5 fingers. And then the right hand. Coming down the 5 fingers. And then it has its own little pattern here. Repeat. So just like that, the whole thing really is getting your hands in position, and once you got that, the rest of it's easy. Let's take a look at the next piece, waltz time. It's the same kind of thing, except they add in something new here. Crescendos, which means you're gradually getting louder. Think about it as like a volume bar. And then diminuendos, also called decrescendos, but here are diminuendos. And then you're gonna get softer. So like with a crescendo, just playing up, 5 notes here. That would be a crescendo, and here's a diminuendo. Takes a lot of hand control, but you will definitely get used to it as we roll along. All right, I'm going to play this one with you. Let's just go through a few things first. 3/4 time, piano. What else do you think we should look out for? Well, they have repeat at the end. You're going to repeat octave higher. I showed you in a previous lesson how to do that. I'm not sure if I said this before, but piano, and then look out for your crescendo, decrescendo, or diminuendo. Sorry, I'm used to calling it decrescendo. And then same thing here right at the end there. So that'll be the tricky part about playing this piece, but I'll play it through and just so you can know like what it's going to sound like. And then repeat 1 octave higher. So there you go. That's waltz time with the crescendos, decrescendos. Let's take a look at the next page, which I do not have in photo or lined up correctly, rather. And that is good morning to you and actually happy birthday to you. You will notice a similarity between these two pieces. But let's talk about good morning to you. It adds in something called the fermata. And the fermata occurs right here. Now, if you read, let's read here. Reading's always good. This sign is called a fermata. Hold the note under the fermata longer than its value. So it's kind of like a pause. You think about like happy birthday to you, right? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Timothy. That's your fermata, right? Bum, bum, ba. You know, just holding it as long as you feel is necessary. And then happy birthday to you. So, which is why happy birthday is the next piece. But good morning to you is very similar, as you will find. It's another middle C position piece, and you're going to play it happily and not sadly. All right, so we're looking at this piece for the first time. I'm looking for what? What do you think? What do you think we should look out for? Well, time signature. Yep. So we got 3, 4. Let's see what else. How about, without looking, dynamics? Yep. Starting hand position. Well, I already told you that, but that is another one. How about fermatas or, you know, foot? Well, that's not even a foot pedal thing. Fermatas, you know, if you have any of those. So basically any of the symbols that you need to look out for, you know, slur lines, things like that. So let's play Good Morning to You. Now you may be wondering how much longer through the note, because actually it has to just be longer than whatever the note value is. So the question is, how long do you hold it? Well, basically as long as you want, so long as it's longer than what's written on the page. So it's going to be some judgment on your part. You know, how you sing happy birthday might be a clue on how you might do that for this piece. As you may notice, it sounds exactly like happy birthday, and that's because it literally is, except in the beginning of happy birthday, there's 2 eighth notes, happy, just like that. And then good morning to is good morning to you, good morning to you, rather than happy birthday to you. I know I'm the best singer in the world. So here you go. Here's happy birthday to you. They introduce eighth notes. This is actually very, very important. You will see eighth notes all the time. And basically to introduce an eighth note is when quarter note into 2 pieces. So remember, quarter note's worth 1 beat. So if I had 4 quarter notes in a measure of 4/4, it'd be counted as 1, 2, 3, 4. However, now we're going to play twice as many notes in that measure of 4/4. So how do we do that? Well, we do that with the term and. So 1 and. A lot of times, actually, it won't be written like this. 99% of the time, it will be written as a plus. Kind of weird. I know everybody's used to this being, that's really the ampersand sign, isn't it? Well, anyway, a lot of people know this is and, but a lot of it's usually plus. So 1 and. So now instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, we're double timing it as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Notice that I still counted all 4 beats. But instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, I went 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 2 parts equaling 1 beat total. And if you're confused, don't worry about it. It will come to you. Playing this piece, Happy Birthday, will help you out for sure. One thing I want to point out is that we do begin with an incomplete measure, right? And then actually at the end, normally there's a repeat, right? Like I told you, like the missing beat is usually at the end. This is like one of those exceptions where it just starts out with an incomplete measure. So I'm going to give you the counting to this measure right here. It actually, you want to start on beat 3 because we're in 3/4 and this is the end of that measure. So 3 and this is going to be counted as 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 and just like that to kind of give you a starting to it, well, I might as well write this 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And then every time it's happy, right? Happy, 3 and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, as long as you need down here. And then 3 and 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is definitely beat 1. And then 2 happens here. So this is actually an incomplete measure because this is only a half note. I saw the fermata and thought dotted half note. Sorry about that. So you're going to go 1, 2. You're going to actually hit this one, hold it, and then hit this one, hold it. So you're hitting this one, hold, and then while you're holding that, you're hitting that hold. Just like that. I'm not going to play the, well, maybe I will quickly play this for you. Just to kind of, I'll play the beginning. I don't think it's necessary to play the whole thing, only because it's literally the same as Good Morning to You, and we have lots to cover, of course. All right, so before you begin, you want to count out that third measure, just to make sure you get that 3 and right. So 3 and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 and 3 and. And obviously you want to learn the notes first because you are beginners. So you want to learn the notes first and then try counting that out. And if that gives you too much trouble, just sing happy birthday to yourself. You know, happy birthday to you. You know, it works the same way. Okay, this page, I'm going to let you go over on your own, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I actually explained this on this page. Kind of by accident. I didn't know that they were going to go over it again. So look over this page on your own, play through the different examples, you know, with the fermatas and things like that. And I think you'll be able to handle that no problem. You know, make sure to follow all the directions, do whatever they say. You can sing the words if you want. That's not super important, but I find a lot of students have fun with that, especially the younger crowd. Okay, now standing in the need of prayer is going to be a tricky one because it combines a lot of things we've been talking about, such as the different chords like C major, you know, G7 back to C major. Hopefully you remember that. Some also other things is we have our pickup measure again, so that's going to be on beat 4. There's a lot going on here. Crescendo to forte. This is going to be your first, I feel like, real project in terms of like fitting everything together, which is going to be really good for you. Although a lot of students finish this one and not too much trouble, I find. But everybody's different. And like I said, a lot going on. Then you decrescendo. So you have a lot going on with the dynamics. You have some sharps. One thing I want to tell you about this is that you have E, D sharp, E, D sharp, E. What note is this? It's actually D sharp and not D because the sharp, remember, affects all of the notes within the same measure. So if you have a D sharp early on, all the D's to the right of it within that measure are also sharped. I don't know if that's come up before actually in this course. So you will have to look out for that. Other thing to look out for is you have a DC Alfine at the end. And what a DC Alfine does is it's actually like a half of a repeat. So instead of like going through the whole thing and then playing the entire thing again, what you're going to do is you're going to play through the whole thing, but then just repeat the first 2 lines until it says fine or finish. So let me play this one for you. I was going to let you just do it all on your own, but this one is trickier. So I just want to give you a sense of what it's going to be like. So here we go. I messed up a little at the end. I was supposed to hold that C. See, even I mess up sometimes, but that's how it's going to go. Let's continue on into the next page here, which is where we are actually going to end it for today. We're going to leave off next time with the amazing aerobics of Hannon, but you don't need to work on that yet. Again, your assignment is to go over all the pages we went over. Spend about 30 to maybe 45 minutes of playing a day. 60 would be great. But if you only have that amount of time, that's perfect. Go over all the pages we talked about, filling like any of the... We didn't have as many worksheets today, really, to do in the book. But going over, filling in any of the blanks that they asked for, following any of the directions, going all over all the pages we talked about. Again, revisit the video if you need to. And then you want to play each piece we talked about 2 times a day, at least. You want to star or mark where you're having the most trouble. And then what you do is at the end of the practice session, say you have time left over, go back and start from those problem areas, spend a little bit more time on them, see if you can get those to finally click. And that's how you should do it. So you're going to watch the next lesson when you're ready right here. Of course, I'm going to put it in a playlist just for you. And thanks for coming by here. If you want to learn a lot more about piano music, check out my courses over on pianolessonsontheweb.com. A great review or a great way to learn even more about piano and music. So it's been your piano teacher, Tim, here. Thank you so much for coming by today. And I'm going to see you, yes you, in the next lesson. Have a great day.